Crop Science Society of Nigeria says only major agricultural investment can save Nigeria from food crisis. UNICEF says 84% of children in some northern states are poor. Joint later urges the United Kingdom government's action on GPS thefts. Good evening and welcome to Himma News at 5. My name is Nunanba Agabus Eridan. The Crop Science Society of Nigeria, CSSN, has urged the federal government to increase investments in crop and animal production as the only viable solution to Nigeria's worsening food crisis. The CSSN chairman, M.I. Ukuru, made this call on Monday during a national conference held at Bayero University, Kano, emphasizing that food importation is not a sustainable solution to the current scarcity. During the event, Ukuru lamented the severity of the food crisis, stating that food prices have soared and many communities are facing acute food shortages. He noted the visible signs of starvation and malnutrition in the country, reiterating that importation will not solve the issue. Ukuru further mentioned that research papers on new agricultural technologies aimed at improving crop yield per unit area would be presented during the conference. He added that Nigeria's economic downturn could be resolved if the government focused more on crop agriculture. The Vice-Chancellor of Bayero University, Kano, Sagir Adamu Abbas, commended CSSN, describing the conference as a unique platform to share knowledge and ideas on the latest developments in crop science with the goal of improving food security, nutrition, and sustainable agricultural practices. The Sokoto State Governor, Ahmad Aliyu, on Monday inaugurated a special committee on the sales of assorted food items to the people of the state at 55% discount rates. Speaking while inaugurating the committee, the governor reiterated that the sales of the foodstuffs are meant for every resident of the state, irrespective of their political or ethnic differences. The governor said the committee members were chosen based on their integrity, with the majority of them being persuaded to join the committee as part of their contribution to the state and humanity. He said his administration has introduced various methods of palliatives to the people of the state to address the effects of subsidy removal and the global economic meltdown. He further said that considering the continued upsurge of the economic situation, his administration felt it necessary to work out an additional approach to alleviate the suffering of the Sokoto people. The governor, however, calls on all the well-to-do individuals and corporate bodies in the communities to not only support the program, but also complement the efforts of the state government by way of extending the provision of such basic food items and other essential commodities to the needy and less privileged in their communities. He reaffirmed that the sustenance of this initiative requires an organized, credible, and reliable structure to fast-track the implementation, which he said was one of the reasons why the state government appointed a state monitoring committee and local government coordinators to ensure effective and efficient contribution and sales of the food items and other essential commodities to the people across the 23 local government areas of the state. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has initiated efforts to build the capacity of civil society organizations and the media on child-friendly budgeting in Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kebbi states, highlighting that 84% of children in these states are multidimensionally poor. Speaking on Tuesday during a two-day workshop for the media and civil society organizations held in Birnin Kebbi, UNICEF social policy specialist Isa Ibrahim disclosed that children are facing multidimensional poverty experience deprivation in at least 3 dimensions of well-being simultaneously, such as nutrition, water and sanitation, healthcare services, shelter, and education. During the capacity building workshop, a sensitization lecture was delivered by the UNICEF social policy specialist on the importance of investing in children and what that means in practice, along with the UNICEF Public Finance for Children strategic framework and its implications for the 3 states. Additionally, a lecture was given on the budget cycle concept and the medium-term expenditure plan development process, focusing on making public finance child-sensitive in Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi states. The Kwara state government has empowered 3,400 rice farmers to boost food security for the people of the state. The State Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Oloruntoyosi Thomas Adebayo, stated this in Ilorin on Monday on the sideline of the recent interministerial media briefing organized by the State Ministry of Communications. She said that the government decided to invest in the affected farmers in order to bring down the increase in the price of rice and other foodstuffs in the state. She stated that the affected rice farmers, under the aegis of Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria (RIFAN), were given both NPK and urea fertilizers across the state. She added that another intervention for 10,000 various categories of farmers was carried out, where farm inputs such as fertilizers, agrochemicals, and seeds were distributed to the beneficiaries. The Commissioner also highlighted the distribution of assorted farm inputs to crop farmers, construction and rehabilitation of livestock facilities across the state as some of the major breakthroughs in the agricultural sector of the state. The Commissioner, while rolling out the present administration's achievements in the sector, said most of the interventions were given to the real and verifiable farmers in the state. Speaking on human capital development, Mrs. Thomas Adebayo stated that the state government, through the ministry, has trained agricultural extension agents to improve their skills in efficient service delivery, adding that the state government also facilitated the sponsorship of 14 youths to participate in specialized training at the Soilless Farm Lab in Ogun State. The Abia state government says it has commenced the disbursement of interest-free loans to 302 youths trained on agricultural ventures in the state. The Commissioner for Information and Culture, Oke Kanu, disclosed this on Monday during a press briefing on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting at the Government House, Umuahia. Previous reports revealed that the Abia state government in February sponsored 302 youths to receive training in various agricultural ventures at a Nasarawa-based farm, CSS Global Integrated Farms. The Commissioner said that the beneficiaries of the loans were sponsored for the training program as part of the government's measures to boost food production in the state. He said that the State Ministry of Agriculture would ensure that the disbursement of the loans followed due process to ensure that the purpose for disbursing the funds would be realized. Please stay tuned for more stories just after the break. Welcome back. You can listen to us on Facebook, Telegram, YouTube, and Instagram at www.himmaradiotv FM 91.1. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has extolled the Igbo New Yam Festival, otherwise known as Iriji, as a shining example of the rich cultural heritage which the Igbo nation is widely known for, saying that his administration will continue to invest in tourism, mechanized agriculture, and other sectors. This was even as Igbo leaders, including Ohaneze Ndibu and other eminent traditional rulers across the state, called on the Enugu state government as well as governments in the southeast region to choose a day dedicated to the New Yam Festival to be known as Igbo Day, where Igbo people at home and in the diaspora will celebrate annually. Speaking at the Iriji New Yam Festival, organized by the State Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy in Enugu at the weekend, Mba said his administration was intentional about making Enugu the premier tourist destination in the country, stressing that the state has received some new tractors to enhance production in agro-allied sector in order to boost production and export made in Enugu produce. The Deputy Governor Ifeanyi Osai, who represented the governor, said the only way the state could be food self-sufficient was through critical investment in agriculture, maintaining that the government had already initiated steps for a minimum of 200 hectares of land in every electoral ward, where the local councils will partner with the state government to empower farmers with tools and other farming inputs. The leader of Justice Forum in Alimosho local government of Lagos State, Akinola Bashiru, has urged government and parents to encourage youth in agribusiness. He said encouraging youth to participate in agriculture ensured a more comprehensive and sustainable approach, leading to increased productivity and food security. Bashiru delivered the keynote address at a constituency stakeholders meeting in Ipaja with the theme Ensuring Food Security for a Sustainable Future, Youth Participation and Homegrown Farming. The event was hosted by representatives of Alimosho 1 constituency in Lagos State House of Assembly, Jimo Olatunji, and was attended by traditional rulers, security agencies and political stalwarts in Alimosho. 5 members of the United Kingdom Parliament have joined the police chief in an open letter urging immediate government action to enhance security on farm equipment, particularly against a troubling rise in GPS thefts. Recent data from National Farmers Union Mutual indicates a staggering 137% increase in insurance claims for GPS theft in 2023, totaling around 4.2 million euros. Cheshire Police and Crime Commissioner Dan Price has linked the surge in thefts to potential involvement from Eastern European organized crime gangs exacerbated by the war in Ukraine. These gangs are reportedly targeting multiple farms in one night and frequently returning to still replaced devices which can cost up to 20,000 euros each. The theft of GPS technology not only incurs the immediate cost of the equipment on the farmer, but also disrupts vital agricultural operations, delaying essential work and affecting productivity during critical weather windows. Price's open letter urges equipment manufacturers to add forensic marking to GPS devices, quad bikes, tractors and excavators, aiming to deter theft and facilitate tracking of stolen equipment. The letter also calls on the new Labour government to revise the Equipment Theft Prevention Act 2023 to include modern immobilization and forensic marking on all agricultural machinery to protect the livelihoods of rural communities, not only in Cheshire but also across the UK. Cheshire potato and arable farmer Andy Shaw said his family farm in Runcorn has been burgled 3 times over the past decade, and on the last 2 occasions, the thieves ripped the GPS screens and units out of his tractors. The Home Office responded by saying the government has plans for tougher measures to combat rural crime, including enhanced neighborhood policing and stronger laws aimed at preventing the theft and resale of high-value agricultural equipment. To end the news, here are the headlines once again. The Crop Science Society of Nigeria says only major agricultural investment can save Nigeria from food crisis. UNICEF says 84% of children in some northern states are poor. Joint letter urges the United Kingdom government's action on GPS thefts. On behalf of the production team, I am Agabus Eridan. Good evening.